Hi. In the last lesson, we learned the area formulas for all the shapes, the rectangle, triangle, square, trapezoids, and circles. And today we're gonna go ahead and build on from that 1.4. We're gonna do the area of composite figures. A composite figure is made up of simple shapes such as triangles, rectangles, trapezoids, and circles. So the shapes we know. This will be example of a composite figure. If you wanna, you can break this one into a triangle, rectangle. Okay, 3 rectangles, 1 triangle. This is called a composite figure. Okay, let's go ahead and add one more into our list. We did a rectangle. Area is length times width, or base times height. Triangle is base times height divided by 2. Square, okay, square is length times length, or length squared. Okay, that's a square. Trapezoid relates back to the triangle. Triangle is base times height divided by 2. Trapezoid has 2 bases, right? 2 bases. So you have the shape look like that. This base 1, base 2, and they have the height. So the trapezoid is base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. Area circle. Area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Okay, so the one we're adding on today is the parallelogram. Parallelogram is pretty much a rectangle. Okay, if you look at this. So a parallelogram looks like this. Okay, it looks like this. And this is the base. And this is the height. If you kind of imagine this, okay, if I use a scissors, I'm gonna cut along the height. I'm gonna cut this triangle off. If I'm gonna cut this triangle off, I'm gonna move this triangle to this place. Okay, what kind of shape do I get? I get a rectangle, right? So the area of a parallelogram is the same as a rectangle. So the rectangle is base times height, okay? Length times width, or base times height. Parallelogram is also base times height. So this is my base, this is my height, or this is my base, this is my height. Let's go and look at the first shape here. If you look at this composite figure, if you break it, okay, we can say I'm gonna draw a line here. So I have a triangle down on the bottom. They have a parallelogram up here. Okay, so these will be my 2 shapes I'm gonna break it into. If you wanna make it into little triangles, you can. You don't wanna make it too many shapes because you have to do more work. So this one, simply, we can just break this one into 2 shapes. Parallelogram on the left and the triangle on the bottom right. So I'm gonna go with a parallelogram first. So the parallelogram area, okay, I'm gonna call this is A1. This is the first shape I have. Same as a rectangle, okay, base times height. The base is 8, the height is 5. So 8 times 5, which is 40. So it'll be 40 feet squared. That's the parallelogram. And the triangle one area is I'm gonna call this is area 2, the second shape, A2. Base times height divided by 2. The base is 10, the height is 5, then divided by 2. 10 times 5 divided by 2. Okay, you can do 10 times 5 is 50. 50 divided by 2 is 25. Or you can do 10 divided by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. So 25 feet squared. The total area for this composite figure will be these 2 shapes added together. So we have 40 plus 25. The answer is 65 feet squared. Okay, 65 feet squared. Number 2, find the shaded area. So the shaded area has 2 pieces. I'm gonna draw a line down here. I have a semicircle on top, and the bottom shape I have a trapezoid, right? You can use this as a trapezoid. If you want to make this into a triangle, you have a rectangle and a triangle, that's fine. But I'm just gonna make this into as least number of shapes as possible. So just a semicircle, half a circle, and a trapezoid. We know for area of a full circle. Okay, full circle is pi times radius squared, right? How about for half a circle? Half circle will be the full circle divided by 2. Let's see what's the area of this full circle. Pi times the radius. Radius is 20 is the diameter, radius is 10. So pi times 10 squared. So be 10 squared is 100. So pi times 100. This one says round your answer to the nearest tenth. This one you actually have to multiply this out. Pi times 100. You actually get 314.159. I'm going to go with 16. This is a millimeter squared. So for half a circle, I'm going to use this number divided by 2. Okay, so semicircle. Semicircle area. And that's going to be my A1. That's the first shape. 314.16 divided by 2. 157.079. I'm going to go with 0.8. Okay, millimeter squared. So this is a semicircle area. Then the trapezoid. Okay, trapezoid area. So base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. So this is my base 1. That's 20. Base 2 is 32. Height is 14. Base 1 plus base 2 times height divided by 2. 20 plus 32 is 52. 52 times 14 divided by 2. Okay, you can use a calculator for this. The answer is 364 millimeter squared. So the total area, okay, TOTAL, total area is going to be the A1 plus A2. The A1 is 157.08 plus A2. A2 is exactly 364. The answer is 521.08. I'm round to the nearest tenth, gonna be 521.1 millimeter squared. This is a rounded answer. Okay, so approximately equals 521.1 millimeter squared. So number 3. Okay, number 3, we have, okay, this shape is a heart. Okay, it's not Valentine's Day yet. This is a heart. If you break this one into different shapes, we have a square and then we have 2 semicircles. The 2 semicircles are exactly the same size. So you can look at these 2 semicircles. If you put them together, you get a full circle, right? So we have a full circle. We have a square. So full circle will be pi r squared. Pi times radius squared. Okay, the 2 halves make a whole. Pi times radius. Radius, this is, okay, the diameter is 3. Radius is 1.5 squares. So square 1.5 then times by pi. Okay, so this one says how much die. Let's go ahead and find the area first. So 1.5 squared times by pi, we get 7.068. 7.069685. So 7.069. This is the inches squared. That's for the circle. Square just 3 times 3, right? Base times height or length times width. 3 times 3 is 9 inches squared. So the total area, you add them together, 7.069 plus 9 is 16.069 inches squared. That's the total area, but this one's a word problem. We're getting 65 pieces of the fabric in the given shape. So this is just one, right? Each piece is to be dyed red. To dye 6 inches square fabric, 2 ounces of dye is needed. How much dye is needed for this entire order? So this is the area for 1, 16.069 times by 65 pieces. Okay, times 65 pieces. We have 459.457.46 inches square fabric. I'm going to try to dye this much fabric. For every 6-inch squared, we need 2 ounces. Okay, so how many 6-inch square is in this?
You have any trash?
I don't. Thank you. So divided by 6. There's a lot of interruption here. So 459.46 divided by 6 is 76.576 point. Let's go 76.58. So there are these many 6 inches squared of fabric. I'm gonna try to find the dyes, right? For every 6 inches squared, we need 2 ounces. So I'm going to multiply this one by 2, 76.58 times by 2. Okay, 153.15. We're going to go with 153 as a whole number. These many ounces dye is needed to dye the 65 pieces of this fabric. 152.02. So this one, the main thing for this lesson is actually doing the shape, the area of the shape. So the other math is just extra stuff. Let's just do like one more, okay? We did mostly addition ones. Let's do one that is subtraction. Subtraction, we're looking for the area of the shaded, so the blue thing. The blue thing is if you look at the blue thing, this area of this one is the circle. Take away the white, right, which is the trapezoid. So the shaded area is going to be the circle area. This one, instead of adding, we're subtracting the trapezoid area. Okay, so circle will be pi times radius squared. The radius in the circle, this is a radius. That's 10. Okay, so pi times 10 squared, pi times 100, 314 point 0.159, so be 16 centimeters squared. So this is the area of the circle. The trapezoid area is, okay, base 1 plus base 2 times height, then divided by 2. Base 1 plus base 2, that's 12 plus 20 is 32. So 32 times 8 divided by 2. Okay, 32 times 8 divided by 2, or I can do 32 divided by 2, which is 16. 16 times 8, which is 128 centimeters squared. So that's area of the trapezoid. To find area of the shaded, we have to subtract. Instead of adding, this one is actually subtraction. So 314.16 minus 128. The answer is 186.16. Let me double check with the calculator. Yeah, 186.16, which will be rounding to nearest tenth, will be 186.2 centimeter square. So this is the final answer to the area of the shaded. So why do I always have extra decimal places in there? If they say, well, if they want to round to nearest tenth, you at least want leave your answer from the beginning to the 100th place. If you're just gonna do the 10th and this one just do the 10th, you might mess up with a little bit, might make like a small error there. So we try to have more digits at the beginning before we're just gonna round to the last step. We're not gonna round too much at the beginning. You wanna wait until the last step to round so you don't make mistakes. Okay, so 186.2 is the area to the shaded.